Okay, y'all, the moment has come. All right, I am afraid of this, as afraid of it as you are. I'm gonna tell you right now. I have made mini albums in the past from scratch, right? From paper bags, from making your own like whole outside with the chipboard and a whole like binder. You know, you get the little Tim Holtz little binder things you can add to it, like all kinds of stuff. And I love doing those. But then I end up with tons of little mini albums. So like I have a bunch of them. And I do like a good 6x6 mini album. That's kind of like what I like, an 8x8, you know. 12x12 gets really big and then you put your pictures. It's just, you know, but this is fun because it's more creative, I think, right? And then I really like getting my hands dirty, getting in there and creating the albums. So Crafter's Companion has now put together their Precious Moments. Precious, I always say the wrong thing and I'm probably still saying the wrong thing. What is this? It'll be in the description there. I always forget the name. I don't know why. And people, I guess, we're thinking about those little doll toy things, right? Precious Moments. Good. Okay. I thought it was Precious Memories. See, I don't know. Okay. Precious Moments. And so the point of this thing is to make a mini album. It scares me. There's things in here that, you know, you have to make your spine right. It's not that hard. So what I'm going to do, and I normally, you know, I like to chat with you guys and all that. I'm going to get to the point. I'm going to be very concise and clear because I do not want to confuse people, especially with something like this. So there are items here. This is the HSN package, right? This is the large HSN package, which you can go to Crafter's Companion and buy the whole kit right now. I think they want $300 and some odd for it. I think for me with the 20% discount, it's like $278. Sometimes they give you other discount codes, but really I think the cheapest I saw it that I could put it in my cart for was like $230, and that's with everything, all the dies that they have right now, the 2 stamp sets and the 2 paper packs. I think that's it. It might come with some tape too, but I don't remember. I feel like that's what it was, which isn't bad. So I'm not going to talk too much about pricing because I want to get right to it, but you can still find it on HSN. I believe the large pack is sold out. With HSN, they charged however much, and you got these things, these core things I'll show you right now. And then every couple months, they're going to send out the other accessory kind of packs that go along with it that can make like envelopes or little cards or whatever kind of shapes that you can include in it. So for me, this is a good way to do it. Instead of putting a big chunk of change right now, you know, you're going to put out half of it and then, you know, every couple months you'll get the rest of it. And there is one die set that is in the HSN thing that is supposedly exclusive to HSN, and I have not seen it on Crafter's Companion yet because like I said, they have the big kit. It's a it's another card. It's like an explosion card, I guess, basically. So they have that, and you'll get that, I think, in the 3rd delivery. So there's going to be 4 deliveries, is what I recall. I might be wrong on that, but you can always check. So really quickly, I want to show you what's in here, which is what I'm going to use. I'm going to do it all right now today in this video, so hopefully it's less than an hour. I don't know. I'm going to try to keep it, like I said, concise. The decorating part is completely optional, so I don't really want to go into that. I want to go into the basic construction, putting together every single one of these little things, and then, you know, I might decorate it. If you guys really want to see it being decorated, then let me know, and I'll do that in a separate video because that's going to be a lot more. So it comes with these stamp sets, the tab labels. So these are little things that you can, you know, include here and there, you know, cut them out. They might be like in this little scallop circle thing. You can put all these little tab buttons, and it's cute. So it's a lot of things that you would want for like a journaling for your book. So a lot of words and, you know, dates, basically months. This one's called Vintage Accents, which is also very pretty. It has just lots of different things. It looks like fingerprints, which is kind of interesting. Little hearts, little background type things. A lot of cute stuff on here. This one is the tabbed page and purse card. So basically it makes a little scallop. So if you want to scallop your page, and we'll talk about that in a minute because this is kind of interesting. We'll discuss that when we get there, the basic construction of the book. So this helps you make like a little envelope kind of, it says purse card, but I have not seen anybody make it look like an actual purse. So I'm not sure why it's called. Well, I guess because what it does is it's gusseted and it opens up. Okay, so we'll get there when we get there. That'll probably be one of the first things we do because that one's a little bit easier. This one's a little bit complicated in that you have to glue this together correctly for it to work. So I think you guys are gonna be curious about this, but I think I have it nailed, so I can tell you exactly how to do it. Twist and pop card. Again, when you open it, the card kind of pops out. You know, Anna Griffin has dies for this. I've never even used them, but I do have them. And this is all very cute. It has lots of accents in here, very cute stuff that is in here. It has a lot more extra things that you need. So the basic thing is what I will show you, and then we'll go from there. This is the spine of the card, of the album. So this one, I feel like it costs the most, maybe because it's a whole thing, piece of metal, but basically you need it to make your album. So it's basic, there's only the spine and then a couple words is what's in here, but this is our initial thing that we're going to be doing. So I'll probably put that together first, obviously, and then go into the other items and go in degrees of difficulty. This is the Waterfall card. Now I already did a review on this, and you guys know I already picked up from HSN, and then I changed my mind and want the whole thing. So I'm going to return, actually I'm not even going to open this, I'm going to return this one because it's not open yet. And I'll keep the one I opened, and I'll bring that out right now. I'm probably not going to do a whole tutorial on this because I already did a whole detailed tutorial on this one, and it'll be at the end cap or in the description box for you guys to check out. So I'll have it ready to go in the coloring, but I'm not going to spend time talking about this one again as far as the construction, okay? And then we have this one that's the frames and accessories, and this is just scalloped, you know, or layered scalloped kind of circle. There's frames in here, there's little flowers, all these words that you can cut into something. I don't think the word cuts out. Like if you're using that, you can cut it into your paper. So a lot of innovative, cute things in here. So that's what I have right now. I know the other ones that they already have that you can pick up from Crafters Companion really have to do with more like cards and little envelopes and stuff like that. And that's pretty basic. I don't think that's something that's too hard for someone to figure out at home. So I'm not going to worry about that right now. Obviously, when it comes in for the review, I will do it then. So I do not have the Precious Moments paper. So I do have it on order from Crafters Companion, actually, because I got a really good price for it, but it's not here yet. So I have this big box that I barely showed you guys, I haven't even used, and it is the Tropical collection from Crafters Companion, which I have never used, ever, not even really opened other than to haul it for you guys. So I was looking at this, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. It has everything. I have the regular little 6x6 paper, I have vellum papers, I have the glitter, matte, and shiny cardstocks that go along with that, and I also have the 12x12 paper, so which is probably what we're going to be working with, because a lot of this stuff, you're going to need to cut your paper 4x6, but some of them means you're going to have to cut it 4x12, okay? So I will tell you about that when we get there. You can just use a picture to make your pages, so it's just a book of pictures. There's lots of things. So I have all this. So what I'm going to do right now is get started. So let me move these things to the side. We don't need any of this. Oh goodness. Yep, I'm just going to drop them into the box. I didn't just throw them on the floor. Put this one to the side for now because I'm not going to use that and I need to return that. I'm going to use the Family Album spine. We're going to start off with the spine. Now, things to cut with, right? So this is longer than your Gemini plates, much longer. The Gemini Junior. I've never opened my regular Gemini machine plates, those large plates. Anna Griffin has extended cutting plates for the Empress. If you have a Cuttlebug and you have the extended plates, you're good to go, right? You're gonna need a piece of paper that's like 4x12, basically, for this. So let me open this up. Ooh, I didn't rip it this time. Okay, yeah, wow, I usually just tear this thing up and it looks horrible. But I got this opened up. And I'll measure it here for you just so you kind of have an idea. It's about 11 inches long and again 4 inches wide. So, I mean, obviously, let me take this off again. Ooh, sorry, that made a horrible noise. I am going to still cut this out on my Gemini Junior because it's in front of me and I'm being lazy. Again, they do not have extended cutting plates for the Gemini Junior. They should. That would be very nice, but they do not. So let me take cutting plate. I'm going to put, let's see, should we put these guys? So I have cutting plate, I have magnetic matte, white shim, and then this guy. And I'm going to leave it this way, so I'm going to cut half of it, and then I'm going to adjust it and cut the other half, okay? And that kind of helps you guys out too, just in case you have something shorter like this. You don't have a extended cutting plate or the larger machine. If you have the larger machine, you can cut several different things at once on that big plate, so don't worry about that. But I am going to look through this paper, pick out a piece, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I went through that paper pack, and to be honest, I'd rather just have a basic color for the spine. This is going to go in the back of your album, just like in this area here, right here. And you can do different things to decorate it, and I'll show you that in a minute. But for right now, I'm just going to cut it out from this pink paper. This is Centura Pearl paper, and to be honest, this might be the worst paper to select because it gets kind of dry. So I'm going to kind of break up the fibers. You see how I'm kind of messing with it already? Just to get it kind of used to being bent, because it could be that when I go to actually fold it, it's going to crack. Hopefully not. And this is double-sided Centura Pearl, which is beautiful. I don't know when I ordered this, but not too long ago. So I do want to mention, if you're using an 11.5 piece of paper, like the 8 by 11.5 piece that we normally have, or 8.5 by 11, should I say, it's too short. Okay, this is A4 size paper from Europe, so it has enough length because they're a little bit longer, their papers. But I cut this thing, I thought I cut it over 4, and it looks like I cut it right at 4, so I'm going to tape it down for a second because I don't want it to shift. And I'm just going to run it through my Gemini real quick, and like I said, I'm gonna have to make the adjustment and then run it through again for the other edge that's sticking out back here, right? The die to cut. So let me just run this through real quick. Come on, buddy. Oh, it's that thick piece. It's like really. Okay. And hopefully you can kind of see that it did do what it's supposed to be doing. I'm going to remove this. Whenever I do this kind of thing, I always remove, or at least I try to remove the excess paper. Look at that low-tack tape. I think that's a running gag here, that it's like the tackiest tape. It sticks down pretty good. Okay, you can turn this over and look at it just so that you know you're still in the right spot, but it kind of clicks in, right? So maybe on this side, what I'll do this time is tape the tape back here. Eesh. Just a little bit. I don't want to hold on to it too much. And now I'm going to reposition my paper so that I can just turn it around. So basically I'm going to let it cut that last part that didn't quite get cut because this is not big enough. So again, I'm going to bring it down lower because I don't want it to run over too much of it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go over the same area twice. Sometimes that kind of messes it up. So I'm leaving it so that a little bit will go through, but not too much. And then once you get there, you can also reverse it, just have it spit it back to you, but I'm just going to let it go all the way through. So there's a tip in case you do not have extended plates or a bigger machine. All right, now I guess if you wanted to emboss this, you could. I'm not going to because we're going to cover that with some other paper later anyway. Okay. All right, guys. So you can see there's like little X's here. This is obviously the right side of the paper because, you know, when you cut, it cuts inwards. So basically what you need to do is fold every single one of these score lines. And Sarah was saying fold them forward, fold them back. It doesn't, just basically fold them all forward. So I'm going to do that. I don't want to waste your guys' time sitting here watching me fold all these. But every single line that we have, I'm going to fold it towards me. And sometimes she says towards you and away from you just so you get a good crease. And I guess it's easier to see it this way now at this point. So I'm going to go down the line and just fold every single line, every single one towards me. Basically the same. Okay, just up. I'll go down this whole thing. Okay, my friends. So pay attention to which side you like for the front. Like I said, you always want your cut to go down like this. So it doesn't matter. But I ran and folded everything. Now you see these little X's? You can kind of see them on the other side too. This is literally where you're going to be putting tape, just like on every other X. So like there's this one, okay, put it here. Skip that one, put it here. So I'm going to lay this flat. And what we're going to do is you're going to stick it together so that basically it goes like this. Right? So these little points, you want them to go on the inside. This is your nice front. And all these little pieces, what they're going to do is make it so that you can stick your pages to this, right? To the inside. So I'm going to go through, I'm using this tape because I cannot find my tape runners, even though I have tons of Crafter's Companion tape runners. I'm going to make sure that I put a piece, if you have red liner tape, that's great. Scotch, you know, your tape runner. If you're using glue, obviously you just have to be patient and wait. It might not be the best for this material because it is kind of shimmery and shiny. So you want to make sure you're getting it right on the edge, right? And then maybe another piece in the middle down here. That's up to you. I'm definitely going to do that, and I don't know if this paper is going to let me do it right now. So I probably have to put one piece, because this type of glue, remove the backing, and then put another piece, okay? So I'm going to come back once I've done that. Actually, that's not true. I'll do it right now. Just make sure that's really stuck down. I don't want to waste too much time on this, because I feel like this is not where our time needs to be, but this is important. So, okay, I'm going to take that off. And then the next piece, I'm putting it right next to where that piece is. Right into the crack there, because you do want that to really meet up. And as you go along, I'm going to tear this piece off the right way. Get off my finger, please. Please. There we go. Actually, look, it's still stuck on my finger. There we go. Pick that off. And then bring those two sections together. Just that little area. Okay, nice and tight. And if you have a bone folder, I would definitely use that to really help you hold down that glue. Okay, so I just want to show you. That is one part of the spine made. Next one. On this set of X's, right against that line again, where the X is, you're going to put your tape. And again, I have to take the white piece of paper off before I can put another one, because it just so happens that this isn't 1/4 inch tape and this is probably less than a 1/2 inch. So again here, and once I get that done, I'm gonna tape that part together, right? So between every single one of these X's, and now I have another piece of spine made, you see? It's gonna keep going as I go along, okay? So just all these little boop, space, X's, put glue on one side, don't put glue on the other, squeeze it together, and keep going along. And each time you're gonna make like a little 1/4 inch spine piece. Okay, I'll be right back. Guys, this is the last piece. I'm just going to finish peeling that off. This took about 5 minutes. Again, I'm gonna fold this up. Now I could have told you guys mountain fold, valley fold, mountain fold, valley fold. I think it was easier to tell you to fold them all the way we did. And then when you get here, obviously you have to fold it up. But like, your paper's already trained to be folded, so it's not the biggest problem. And then every time I did one of these, I try to flatten this out and just really kind of push that together. So now when we open this up, we should have 6 little tabs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with like little 1/4 inch spines in between. Now we used to do this by hand. I don't know if you guys remember back in the day. This is what we did. We did it by hand, and that's fine. So now we have this spine. That's literally all that is in that thing, other than those 2 words that it comes with, okay? So this, now, there's a couple things you can do here. This is where Sarah was saying, if you have just like 4x6 photos, you can just attach them here, right? Stick one at the very edge here, put another one on the other side, and you can glue them together. You can put paper. I'm gonna go super basic and super easy, but hopefully that made sense to you guys. I don't really I have a bunch of photos over there. I don't really want to grab one, but if you had 4x6, they would fit in here just perfectly. Okay. So what I'm going to do, and what I saw in another tutorial that they didn't really talk about, they were doing 2 pieces of paper and sticking them together, is just cut 6 pieces of paper that are 4x12. So they're going to be 4x12, and we're going to fold it in half, and then we're going to make our pages that way. Now, you can do that with whatever paper you like, whatever you want to do. I do want to mention something when I get there. I'm going to come right back. I'm going to have 6 pieces of paper that are cut at 4x12, which is basically 2 pieces of 12x12 paper that I'm going to cut in 4-inch strips, so that I should get 3 from each one, right? 4 times 3 is 12, 12x12. You're going to have 4x12 strips, and I will be right back, and then we'll talk about kind of dressing those up or doing something different, and maybe that'll give you some more ideas, and let's just try it out. So I'll be right back. Okay, now, there are not any dies in here that will cut a page for you, okay? So you have to do your pages yourself. That's kind of why I'm telling you got to do this. Either you're going to cut little pieces of paper that are 4x6, put one on one side, you know, glue it, put one on the other side. I saw this quick one and I thought, you know what? That's how I want to do it. It sounds good to me with the strips like this, okay? So let me back up just a little bit. What's cute about this paper is that it really had a nice way of cutting it. So if your paper has a direction, make sure you cut it in that direction, right? But look how cute. Like, even where I cut this, it has the toucan, it has the flamingo on the other side, and it's perfectly good. Now you can just hold it in half like this and eyeball that and just do your little thing here. But, you know, obviously you want to do things nicely. You can bring out your scoreboard and score it at 6 inches. So this is how you're going to make your pages. Now, I saw them doing this, and I thought, oh, that's good. That's a good idea. So we're going to do that. We are going to do it. I'm going to stick this down, you know. But then I thought, well, if you're going to do this already, why don't you make them pocket pages? And now you have pockets on the side too, which I always like. So you can do whatever you want. Obviously, you can dress it up however you like. I mean, there's lots of different ways to do this. So I'm going to show you real quick how to make a pocket page. And it's not going to have anything to do with this other stuff. What I did want to mention, though, is that they just do show, like, to make the edge of your paper nicer or cuter or whatever, however you want to call it. So some of these sets have like dies that you would put on the very edge of your paper. Not this one. Let me see. Does this one have one? Like this kind of squares it off on the edge. This little scallop you can add to the edge of your paper. So you're gonna have to make the adjustment for that. So basically your paper should probably be like 6.5 inches so you can cut into it. You can make your paper as long as you want. Obviously it's gonna stick out. It has to be about 4 inches tall though. There's no more tall. You can't make it taller than that, right? So you can take these little different edges, scalloped edges. This one, the waterfall one, comes with different scallops you can use. Or like this rounded edge. Actually, the scallop is for something else, but it has a rounded edge. So you can use all those different things to help you kind of dress up what you're doing. For right now, I'm just gonna do a basic pocket. I'll show you how to do that real quick. And I'm just gonna use, hopefully, what is this? Tape runner. Now they showed to use like a really heavy extra duty tape here. So like, let's say we use this stuff and I put it on the edge here because that's what's going to be touching the spine. So you really want to make sure it's holding on really well. So you can do that, of course, on both sides. But let me hold this down. So I'm going to show you how to do these 2 pages, how to do one just regular. And so I'm going to take this, make sure it's facing the right way. And I'm going to put it on the back side of this little dude here, right? So now it's going to be holding on. And we'll burnish it in just a second. And then I'm going to take some tape, hopefully, and do this. So this is what I'm saying. I'm like, you're literally making a pocket. You can even make a pocket on the top. Don't seal it up on the top, you know, and you have a pocket however you like. Oh, I need another piece of tape on the other end. Whenever you're doing book making or albums, you really want to have really, really sticky glue, or tape, should I say. Wet glue is great too. You just have to be patient. And if you guys want to know where I got this tape, I have no idea. I'm always buying stuff, and I might have got it at an expo like so long ago, and I don't remember. It's just double-sided tape. Oh, come on. Okay. So we have that. I'm going to smooth it out to the very edge. And this is page number 1, right? We're still going to add a page up in the front to make the front cover, okay? So don't worry about that for right now. You're just grabbing that first little section. Now, I want to show you guys how to make a little pocket page. So again, I have my 4x12 paper here. I'm going to go ahead and cut it at 6 inches. So now I have 2 pieces that are 4x6. And I have my cutter over here, so I'm just going to bring it over here, sorry. So 2 pieces that are 4x6. And we're going to make this into a pocket. So that means obviously one paper is going this way, one page is going to go this way, right? So we can stick it on here. Now, before I do all that, I want to line them up. I'm going to corner round these just to show you that you can do whatever you want, or maybe notch them. We always do corner rounding, huh? I have a stub one, which I don't even know what that looks like. What does it look like? How come there's not a picture? Okay, let's do a stub. This is a crocodile chomper thing. Look at that. It cuts a little, like a little stub. And then on this middle part, now you can just take it and do a half a circle on one side so it's easy to bring out whatever it is that you put in there. If you put a tag, you can put them together and cut it out from both sides, which is what I'm going to do just to make it easier. But we have this corner punch, or sorry, corner punch, circle punch. It's about a 1 incher. And I'm going to hold it up so I can see what I'm doing. And just like right in the middle, just give it a little notch. And now we made a little area, so if we put a tag in there with a ribbon, we can pull it out, right? Okay. So again, for these guys, what we're going to do is put that heavy-duty tape at the side that's going to be touching the binding. So that's just a little extra. I mean, you can do all those tips and tricks that you normally would do with a thing like this. And then right now, since I have it in front of me, you know what, we'll just do it with this stuff too. We need to seal this top part and the bottom, but do not tape this area. Now that's what I was saying earlier, you can do this and just leave the whole top part open and put another little tag in there, right? So this time, if you want to leave the top open, tape all around the edges, but don't tape the top part. So we got that, we got this. Sorry, I don't mean to take up time just doing extra tangent things, but I think it's fun. Again, make it your own, you know, there's so many things you can do with this. And so, okay, I'm going to take this, and this will be the next one. I'm going to eyeball this because I can't really quite lay it down, and then I'm going to put the other one right on top. So again, right to the edge, not in the flap. I'm already messing that one up. Hold on. There we go. There we go. And now we're going to take this other piece and eyeball this. And you know what I would probably do is center it first over here because we cut those notches and we want them to be the same. So there's that. And then I'd lay it down. Did I not put tape on the back piece of this? Oh, Vianney. I forgot to put the piece right here. See what happens when you go off on your own. All right, here we go. And even that pop-up card or that swivel card, it's not hard, you guys. So I'll probably, like I said, do that one next because I want to just jump in, right? I already did the waterfall card, and that one is, you have to pay attention, but it's not the biggest deal. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm going to take that off and then I'll stick it down. I don't want to waste your guys' time. And then you want to burnish it. Just really, really squeeze that down, okay? So I'm going to go through this whole book, add on every single one of these, add a page, you know, maybe with a tab, maybe without it. But now we have this little pocket, like I said, you can put things in, right? Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so that's all put together. Now we need a front and back, right? Page or cover, I guess. So I just want to show you, I did do a pocket there and I did another pocket in the back. And everything else is just the way I showed there. I did want to show you that with the 6x6 paper pad, it was really cute. It's obviously sized down for a smaller book, but I did like the size of what I was already using, but that would be really cute to have, obviously, something that's sized down for a smaller project. But I didn't want to use all the papers in here. You know what I'm saying? Like if I wanted certain, there's only 3 of each design, I would have used it all up really quickly. So to make our front and back pages, oops, I actually need 2 of these. I cut a paper out of that Centura Pearl and I cut it 4 by 6 1/4. It's a little bit longer because I took the die, or I am taking the die from this just to show you how you can use it for the scallops. So this is from the tab page and purse card. And I'm going to scallop the edge. But I made it a little bit longer, a little bit bigger because it does take off some of the length, right? And it's okay if the front and back page are a little bit bigger than the other pages. So that's 6, again, 4 by 6 1/4. And then I cut some pieces that are, I already forgot, let me see here, 3 3/4. So it's just a 1/4 inch, you know, smaller than this paper, and then by 6. So 3 3/4 by 6. I'm actually going to cut these pretty much at the same time just to run them through at once, but see how I'm putting it together. I need one more piece though for the back side, so let me cut that real quick. I totally forgot, and actually I'll just cut it right now that we're waiting here. I said by 6, right? Actually, this probably might already be where I need it. Yeah, perfect, because it was 6. Okay, and I'm just, actually, let me think. I need it to be this way and cut down in there and then turn it over. Yeah, because I want it to be nice and bubbly. Hopefully I can cut through all 3 pages at once. I don't see why not. And I'm going to bring this guy over. And I'm probably going to have to use a little bit of tape just so this doesn't shift around on me. And I'm going to put this blade side down, right, facing into our paper, and it's just going to cut that last little bit, that little edge off. And I'll do the same thing for the front and the back. You don't have to, I mean, you don't have to do any of this, I guess, if you don't want to. I just want to show you how you would use these other little bits if you were looking to do that. And here we go. And like I said, I'll do the same thing for the back page, but I'll just show you how to put it together real quick. And then we still need to take care of the spine. I saw some people put the spine on when they were all done, but I'm gonna do it now probably so that the book is done and then everything else is just extra, right? So let me take this off of here. And let me take this off of here. And did it cut all the way through? Not quite, almost, almost. We got the first two, we didn't get the last one, darn it. So I'll do the last one right now. Take that off of there. It almost got all the way through there. Okay, I was just being lazy, guys. Basically, we just want this to trim off because we want it to scallop nicely. I'm going to run this through one more time just to get this one cut, and I'll be right back. So, got that. The reason I cut this one even face up is that way when I turn it over to stick it on here, the edge is still nicely cut into, right? We could have cut it this way and then flipped it over. But then that edge where it's curved in kind of, you guys know what I'm talking about. It wouldn't have been there. Okay, so with this one, all I'm going to do is just kind of scallop it, and by pushing this down, I'll use the wet glue. Hopefully this is open, ready to go, or not. Again, obviously glue runners are much faster, but sometimes for these kind of things I like to make sure that I have it in the right spot where I want it, so I kind of have a little maneuverability there. So you see, that's all I did just to scallop it. Okay, again, if your paper has a direction, pay attention to that, okay? Do not put it in a way that you don't want. Okay, I'm just gonna go through here. This is still a little bit wet. I probably wouldn't normally go with it right now, but that's okay. All right. And then basically we need to stick this on this inside flap. And so I think, since I have some time, I was trying to rush this, not rush it, but like I want to get it done, right? While my kids are at school and all that. I think I'm going to have time to just wait for this part. So I'm just going to put some glue. I really want this to stick down really well. So that's kind of why I wanted a lot of glue there. And get this guy in here and just put that flap down. I'm probably going to leave it to dry like this. And in the meantime, I'll work on the next page. Just want to make sure that's in the right spot. And then I'm going to put some weight on it, like this Pebeo bottles here that I have. That sounds good. So I'm going to work on the next little page, get that going, and then I'm going to attach it to the back in the exact same way. Just stick it here. Okay, so this is the back page. I'm going to put this to sit somewhere to dry a little better. But I do want to mention that we're going to have to cover the spine. So they do not have a die for that, which is kind of funny. You think they put it in the spine one. Why not? But I guess, you know, depending on how you glued and stuck things down, that maybe it's just not exactly even, or something might be different about it, right? So I'm assuming that's why they did it that way. I don't know why I didn't bring I put my ruler in the other room when I was doing the Empress measuring. So I'm just going to use this ruler on the end of here and kind of see how big this is. It is about 1 3/4 inches wide. So let's say 1 3/4 inches, plus another like something to overlap, 1 3/4. Let me do some math here because I'm gonna think about this. I was gonna put this little piece over, and then I've seen other ways. Some people just cover the back, so that's another thing to do. We might do it that way. So what I want to do is cut a piece of decorative paper to go right here. Okay, so basically, I already forgot what's front and back, but I guess we can tell later. I did want to leave that resting though, so that the glue would do its thing. So let me cut out pieces of paper that we're going to put on this little front piece here, and that could just be anything. And what we're going to do is use these little guys, this little area. We're just going to cut a piece, okay? That's going to help us kind of go around this edge and look nice, hopefully. So there's different ways to do this. You can put a piece that's going to cover the back and then come towards the front. However you want to do it. This is just something I think I saw maybe Craig or one of them do. So basically I'm just going to put some decorative paper here and let that be part of the spine. Now let me think. Sorry, I should have this ready now. I feel like I'm wasting time, and we are in a time crunch on this. I want green paper. There's like a green pattern paper here. There, that's the one. Oh, I hate to do this, but I'm just gonna tear it. Just tore this piece off of there, out of the book. So basically, I just want this little piece of paper here. So I'm gonna tear this too. And I'm gonna cut out 2 of them, okay? So I'm gonna run this through the Gemini Junior. Just a little, as you can see, I don't care what this last piece looks like. I just wanna cut this area out, and I'm gonna do it 2 times, or put 2 layers together. Either way, I need 2 of these. So I'm gonna just cut this rough edge off. We might have to trim it down a little bit, but we'll see. So it does kind of give you some marks from the die itself, right? It has like score marks. So what I'm going to do with this one, and actually I don't even want to use the score marks because I want it to go back a little bit. So I'm going to scallop it back just a little bit. And actually that score mark still kind of helps out. So I'm going to stick this on here, and it is kind of sticking out in this back part, and that does not matter. But what I was trying to say is if you really wanted to, you could probably make it 1 piece, but you're going to have to do the math for that, right? But I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to add the rest of it. So let me just kind of like that. So I'm gonna put glue all over this thing. Sarah says a wet glue is better for this part, and what she did was she put glue all over the spine, like all over the spine, and then stuck her paper on. So there's different ways to do it. This is how I'm doing it. Do it however you like. If you were gonna do obviously any distressing, that should have already been done. I was like thinking, oh, I haven't done any kind of distressing on any of this stuff, but that's okay. And then we're gonna stick it down. So I'm holding it down this front part and whatever wraps around the back. I'm gonna do the same thing for the back side, okay? And we're almost done with the book itself. Now as I'm waiting for this to dry, I kind of already held down the front and the back. I'm just keeping it on its spine, and I'm kind of putting my bone folder in there to kind of smooth it out, okay? Ooh, what happened here? I can see my tripod, that drives me nuts. Okay, so there's that, but I'm just trying to keep that paper down, right? This back paper, nice and flush. So I'll be holding it and kind of coercing it while we're sitting here waiting for it to dry. And then when I come back, I'm going to go ahead and cut the piece of paper that's going to go on the very spine. And I'm just going to cut it at 4 inches by, like I said, I think this is 1 3/4. Let's see, and 1 3/4. So 4 inches by 1 3/4. If you want to wrap it around some more, you can do 4 inches by 2 and then have it come to the front. If you want to scallop that too, whatever you want to do. You know, it's up to you. Obviously, it's your book. But I'm going to wait for this to dry, and I will be right back. Okay. What's funny is I like this side better. I'm like, oh, man, that came out better. It was supposed to be the back, but that's actually the front, because if I look at this, obviously my pear will be upside down if I do it the other way. So that's perfect. Works out for me, because this one shifted a little bit on me that I'm not too happy with, but there it is. Hopefully it's stuck down. Okay, so there are some areas that are still kind of need some glue, so I'm going to make sure to reinforce that with tons of glue. So just get that in there. I do like this glue because it's the kind that stays not tacky, but it has like that rubbery feel. So again, Sarah literally just junked this out with glue to hold that down. So I've just put tons of glue. You use your tacky glue, whatever you like. I have my little spine cut, like I said, 4 by 1 3/4. And it looks like the rest of the paper that I have there. So I'm just going to hold it down again. Just try to really keep that paper against that spine. Which is kind of weird in a way because the spine has some maneuverability, which is nice, I think. But whatever, this is what they did, so that's what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like the spine for itself to have some maneuverability would be nice, but I'm just making sure this is really touching the whole thing. You know, just making sure these edges are nice and flat there. So I'm going to hold that down until it dries, and I will be back. Okay. I'm just been coaxing it again, just trying to keep it flat. I'm going to let this go rest somewhere else just for it to dry. Not too tight though, because obviously you don't want it to be so tight that you can't close your book later or that something's up. So I'm just leaving it just the way you saw it, sitting out like that. I just put it over there in another area. So next thing I said we're going to do is that twist card, right? That's a little more complicated, but it really isn't. Even the waterfall card, I mean, I think hopefully I did a good job of explaining it. Most people seem like it was pretty straightforward. So I didn't get too many complaints on that video. So here we go. The main part of this, what you actually need, oh my goodness, I did not check my frame. Sorry guys. is the twisty part. And be careful, it's really stuck down. Right? And this is like a 3-inch piece by 7. So hopefully we can cut that out on our junior. And then this piece here. And this is not hard, you guys. So I'm going to try to pick out 2 different pieces of paper so that it's not hard to see. And I'll tell you the size of this. This is just over 3 by almost 9, okay? So let me put these things to the side here. I bring my plates out. I'm starting to not put things away, so then it gets messier and messier here. Well, it just so happens. So this is your mechanism. You're not really going to see this, okay? So, you know, you can make this any color. I'll probably cut it out in... I'll find some tropical color that'll work. And then this one is the one that's going to be holding your pictures or whatever you want to put on there, right? This long piece. So it has little mats, and they do have little squares to mat it out too. So let's go ahead and make that one kind of wild. And I have this extra piece right here that I think will be good for that. So I'm going to cut this out, die facing down just so I can see where that is. And it is, this is so funny, it is literally just the size of this plate is what it looks like. Hopefully that'll bear out. Let me get a piece of this, and then I'm going to cut out this piece also just the same way, same sandwich, out of a black piece of paper, or no, maybe not black, maybe something bright green, something cute. We'll see. I use a lot of pink, but I'm just going to tape this down where I think it should go. Oh, no, that's not good. And then I'm going to run it through, I keep doing this crooked. What is going on here? Run it through my Gemini. If for some reason I have to move this because like it's literally at the lip there and it ends here, then I'll do that. I'll just run it through again. But for right now, hopefully it'll cut. All right, so I'm gonna run this through. Same sandwich as always. I'm gonna run this through with like a bright green piece of paper and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I just saw my mailman pull up and I hope he doesn't, well, he might ring the doorbell. But okay, let's get this out of here. This part is not complicated. Do not be afraid. Let's talk about this right quick. So you have these 2 pieces. This one has like score marks every quarter. The easiest way I can tell you to fold this one is fold in half towards you. That score mark did not come out very good, so it's going to be in the half though, so let's just fold it in half. So fold it in half like a little carrot, like a little mountain, right? And then these 2 side ones, just fold them back on themselves. And that's the easiest way I can tell you on that one. Because that middle one needs to be poking up at you. Okay? So fold it in half and then fold these guys back up. I'm gonna leave this right here so you can keep looking at it. This one, all you have to do is, it has a line down the middle and then 2 going opposite. Now, I guess it doesn't matter which side of the paper, it's not really gonna show that much, but all you're gonna do is fold on the diagonal, right? Then open it up, fold the other diagonal, and Leanne was really saying to really burnish it, so I will do that, but alright, so you have just those 2 angles folded now, so it makes like a little house. If you knew anything origami, this is very familiar, right? So you have almost like a little house here. Okay, so I folded them towards me. Now we're going to turn the paper over and fold it back on that middle. So I turn the paper over, fold it back on the middle. Okay, so my point is not to confuse you guys. We just folded it up, right? So basically, and every time I want to go do this, I'm like, you're pushing that in. Do you see what I did? Where it's curving back at me? I'm pushing that middle part and then pinching these sides together to make our little house, and it just wants to go that way. Anna Griffin had a card that she made like this. She called it like a, what's it called? Oh, greenhouse card or something. So I just want to show you again. We fold those 2 towards us, the 2 angles, and then we flip the paper over and we folded it up. And now all I'm doing is kind of opening that up, but also pushing this middle so that this goes in. I think that's as many times as I need to say it. It's not super complicated. Now, what's funny about this is that we have to basically put this in the book, right? Not yet, we're gonna put this on here. But when we put it in the book, either when you open that page, you can have it so that it pops up, or you're gonna have to put a card within the book to pop up. Let me bring the book back. Hopefully it's kind of dry now. Okay, so let's say I go to open this one, I'm like, oh, and then it opens up, but you really can't because you have this gap. So you have to make another card or something else for this thing to be on, which is kind of silly, especially because it's going to cover up a lot of stuff. I'll put it here because this is kind of a boring page anyway, right? So I think this is a good place for it to be. I'll put it in here, but we have to make a card for it. So I'm going to put this to the side for right now. This is what this thing looks like. We're going to bring back our little guy and see how it's pointing towards me, the middle part. Just keep it folded. It's still facing me, okay? This open part is facing the back. So that pointy is facing me. And what we're gonna do is stick it down so that this part is on top. Actually, no, we're gonna tuck it back here. And that's basically it. So hopefully you can, and then we're gonna glue it, okay? You wanna use a wet glue. I cannot possibly use a wet glue because I have to go pick up my kid in 2 hours and I've already been like doing this for a while with the mini Empress and everything else I'm doing this morning. But what you would do, hopefully, and look at it, okay? Make sure this little arrow, the middle part is still pointing at you, is put some glue here, and wet glue is best because like I said, it'll last forever. And I almost want to do that, but for me to show you the twist and pop, I have to wait so long for this glue to dry, it just doesn't make sense. But maybe I'll just use a really tacky glue like this stuff. So I'm kind of eyeballing where that goes, but it's basically here. And you're not putting it all the way back inside that area. I don't know if you can tell. Let me rip these little things off. So do a better job of gluing and definitely use a wet glue, okay? What happens when you start wanting to rush? We start making mistakes, don't we? But I just want to make this to be very clear. Okay, so basically you're sticking this to this back flap. See how obviously there's two areas? You're sticking to this one. So we're just going to put it through here. I'm trying to keep it even. And it's not all the way up into this area, but pretty close, okay? So that's that one side. It's stuck down. Now you can turn it over if you want. I don't want to confuse anybody, but it basically looks like the other side, right? And we're going to put our tape down again. So this doesn't have to be confusing. That's why I'm trying not to say too much, other than you have those valley folds and stuff. And then I'm going to take this off. Ah, there we go. And then I'm just going to make a basic card for this. Probably, we have to measure, give it a little measure. It's probably going to be like 3 by 5 or something because... Okay, now I got that off. Again, if you were just doing wet glue, put the wet glue on both sides. Okay, that's it. This thing is basically the same on either side, right? What we did. This looks like what we started. And so basically when someone opens this thing, it pops up, right? When they open the card, this thing pops up. Hopefully you can see that. Hopefully you can, it's hard to tell when you're looking at it, but hopefully, I know sometimes people want to see all directions, so there you go. Okay. So you make your little house and you just basically stick it in between, and that's like a good 1/4 inch or so there, okay? All right, I want to measure this because I need to know how big I need to make the card. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, it's 3 inches wide, which we expected, and almost 4 inches deep. So let's do 3.5 inch by 8 inches. 8.5, because we're going to double it. We're going to double it plus a little extra. So 3.5 by 8.5 inch piece of paper, and I'll be right back. So we have our little guy. This is very basic. Obviously, I'm going to decorate it. Just right now, I'm just showing you a basic card. So this is a 3.5 by 8.5 inch piece of paper. That way it mats into the book nicely, because, you know, our book is only 4 inches wide, right? So just something like that. And then I'll cut out a cute mat to go over it. And maybe we want to corner around the edges just to be a little extra. All right, let's do that real quick. And I guess if you really want to, you can corner around these edges too. What I would do is hold it all together like this and give it a pop here, but maybe we should have done that earlier, because that way when you open it, it has all those little corner rounds. That'd be cute. Okay, so you need a basic card. Again, 3.5 by 8.5, I folded it in half. It's just a card. And I'm gonna use this side because this side's prettier. I burnished the other side and it got kind of shiny, ugly. All you're going to do with this is stick it down so that the point is right in the middle, just like this. And all you're sticking down is this point area, okay? So I know that's kind of weird. Again, wet glue, but I'm using you know, just tape because I don't have time for that. But let's stick this down. This really gives me like the willies here because I want this to look right. But I'm gonna put the tape on either side. I'm gonna do it on this side first. I'm gonna take the backing off and I'll be right back. Okay, like I said, this is basically the same either way, unless you have a direction you want this to look, okay? Then you have to really think about it. Like if you want, when it opens up for it to have like a message here, then you need to pay attention. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this face down actually. And stick that down right there. I'm gonna burnish it at the end. I'm not gonna rub it too much right now. And then again, I'm gonna put more tape on these sides. I should have just done it already, but I didn't want to get too far ahead of myself because I know people like to see kind of what we're doing. Oop, that was really long. Okay, so I'm gonna take the back off of this and I will be right back. Last little piece here. I'm just using a ponytail tool because, hey, guess what? That helps. And now all we're gonna do is bring this down like this. Hopefully it's even. If it's not, you know, you want to adjust it. Again, if you're using wet glue, you have time to adjust it. If you are not, like I'm not, you will not have time to adjust it. So really, let's burnish that. I'm going to burnish on the other side where it was already ugly anyway. So now, when we open this, here we go. So cute. And you kind of have to train it. Obviously, after a while, it's going to do a little better than now. And we're just going to glue this into our book, I guess. This page, right, is what I said. So I'm just going to glue that down, probably with a wet glue, since we've been using tons of other glue. I will cut another little mat here, and it will probably be, oh gosh, it'll be 3 1/4 by 4. So 3 1/4 by 4, I'm going to cut a little mat to put on here just to make it look nice. But again, if you guys want me to decorate the book, I will do that then. I do want to show you some of the other things we really want this stuck down. Let me look at that again. Boop. Yeah, that's fine. And let me go to that page. Let's have our book correct. See, I was going to stick it on the wrong side of the page even. I don't think it would matter for this one, but if you have something you really want to make sure your book is facing you the right way. Okay, so I'm going to stick that down just like right here. Just in the middle. But let me put that in. Let me hold this down because that'll keep it. I do want to show you what else is on that same die set. There are swirls and cute things and little pockets you can put in those little pop-outs that you just made. There's mats that can go in that, you know, in those areas, right? So the mats go in here. You can put a little pocket on there. Lots of pretty things in here. You know, like I said, if you guys want me to decorate it, I will do that at another video. Okay, so now we need to move on to... we already done Waterfall. Okay, that's just extras. Where is the other one? It's basically this guy over here. It's because I took that scallop out of it. We're going to move on to making the tab page and purse card. And this is really easy. Let me grab some papers and we'll cut it out and get it in the book. Okay, guys, we're almost there. So with this one, it's really basic. Again, the basic things you need are this for your outer, for the little flap here. So we have this guy. We're going to need this, and what's interesting about this one is that you basically have to fold this like a card. Ooh. It has cutting edge on 3 sides, but not this one. So this edge you're going to put on like a folded card, and I'll show you that in just a second. And you need this little area that's going to make your gusset. Okay, everything else is decorations. Again, you have the little scallop. I probably will cut out this keyhole because it's adorable, and then we'll leave the rest of it for now. But this is the basic thing that you're going to need. So, okay, the card. I have the rest of that pearlescent pink that I kind of just have extra because it's just there. I'm just going to fold it in half. And I probably should burnish it because this stuff is cracky, but that's okay. Alright. So, oh, sorry, that was loud. So now I have this folded in half. This is, you know, a big piece of paper. I mean, you can measure this and fold it just how you need it. But again, leave that edge, the edge that does not cut on the very edge of your card. Actually, I'm going to do it up here because why waste all that paper? I can use that for something else later. And I'm going to run this through with the basic sandwich of the magnetic mat, the white shim or your plastic shim, and both of the cutting plates. So cutting plate, shim, magnetic mat, and the other cutting plate. Ooh, that pops because it goes right over that bump. And then we're gonna make the top of the purse. Now I was feeling a little bit extra. I don't know, let me see what I have in here. I was thinking that maybe what we should do, let's see if this cut through all. It did, barely. I missed this little corner right here. Is that maybe we should emboss this, don't you think? Just to be a little extra. So I'm probably gonna run this through, I'm gonna cut that little piece off, an embossing mat just to get an emboss on the one side that's gonna be showing. This back side's gonna be stuck to your book, so it's just not gonna show. So I will just, you know, I don't wanna waste your guys too much time, but just put it inside an embossing folder, just that part, and run it through. And then you're gonna get emboss whatever it is that you want on that part. Then put this to the side. Next thing, that little flap that goes over on top. I have this cute little parrot paper, and you know, dive face down wherever you think. Oh, let me see. We want more parrots, don't we? Oh, that'd be cute if I do it like have that little parrot right in the middle. Actually, I'm gonna put that little lock thing so it's not even gonna matter. Let's put those parrots up higher. I should have thought about that before I cut the paper. So if you want something on there, make sure you're paying attention for that. Ooh. I couldn't have planned this more perfectly if I wanted to, you guys. We need to cut 2 of these out. And guess what? It fits perfectly with the paper that's left here. Look at that. Like right on the edge. I'll probably cut them out one at a time because that was kind of thick and it barely went through these 2. Maybe I'll do it, oh, with the metal shim, huh? Yep, let's get it cut. Okay, so we have our cute little topper for the purse. Let me put this to the side. And last thing, again, I'm just using the same material. I mean, you can use a different piece of paper. Doesn't matter. I am going to use this as depth and not really to cut into. So, put these 2 guys here. I don't want that to shift, so let's get a little tape. And hopefully that'll emboss the lines that we need on there. I don't know, we'll see. It's struggling a little bit. If it doesn't work, just cut it out twice. Obviously, we need 2 of them. Guys, we're almost done because this is basically all I have, unless you guys want me to decorate, like I said, but that'll be a different video. So let me know. But this is basically all that I have for today. The other thing that comes with the stamps, obviously those are for decoration. And then the other thing is just like bits and layers. So, ooh, it did emboss on all of it. Look at that. Actually, that was a really good emboss. So, with these guys, again, this one you are going to go back and forth because basically, let me show you. These 2 areas, this and this, need to go into your purse. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. So, those 2 edges need to be out, right? It doesn't really matter, just as long as that's like that. We're gonna use those in just a second. I'm probably gonna use tape to make it quick, but you probably want to use glue, okay? We've already talked about that so many times. Let me get this embossed real quick and I'll be right back. I know you hear that noise. I do want to show you something. With this 3D embossing folder, it was not going through, especially because that pink paper, that pearlescent paper, is kind of thick. So I had to use just the shim embossing folder with the paper tucked around it. You can see, just placed it in here. Look how pretty. And then the other cutting plate, okay? So white shim folder paper. Yeah, it was like not gonna do it. I was like, that's funny. And then again, with her embossing folders, if you want the embossed area to be showing on the nice side of your paper, it needs to be facing away from the name. I don't know why they do it that way. It's silly, but okay. All right, guys, we're almost there. So we're gonna take these guys, and basically these are gonna make a gusset here. So basically you're gonna stick it down in there like that. See how that would work? But you need tape. So I'm just gonna grab, or glue it basically. So I'm gonna get this, and I'm really gonna wrap it around, actually come around this side, why not? And glue that down. Or you can do 2 separate glues, it doesn't matter. Just get that on there. I'm going to take that I'm going to take this off. And I guess I'll just keep filming because we're almost done and I don't really know how long I've been filming for, but it's going to be a long one. All right, there we go. And then another one because this is not thick enough. I do really like this tape. I don't know. I like, you know, obviously the double-sided red tape. I'm pretty sure I either got this, like I said, at a Scrapbook Expo. It's not from Daiso, even though Daiso does carry double-sided tape because it would have said Daiso. It was just a generic package. Didn't say anything, so. This stuff is super sticky. Sorry, I wish I knew the name. I know some of the other ones we used to get, say, Sukwang on the back or something like that. They were all from China, basically, but then different companies sold them. Okay, again, nice gusset facing out. This open side facing in, right? So we're going to put it right in here. I'm going to do one side first. So it's right at the edge. And then I'm going to bring this down over it. How cute is that? So what you just saw, I'm going to do the same thing. Look, it makes a little opening for this back side. So I'm doing it like this. If you wanted to, since this piece is going to stick down anyway, you can always stick this side here, right? And then stick this outer side around the back just for some extra help when it's stuck down. However you like. So you see that? Stick this here and then stick this around the back. And then when you glue it down, it gives you a little more support. But I'm fine with what I just did. So I'm going to do the exact same thing and stick it right down in here. Okay, I got that all stuck down. Super cute. A little extra glue there. Now this is the other piece that's going to go on top here, but it's going to stick to the back here. Okay, so just give it a nice crease. It already has a crease from the cutting die. It gives you a really nice little crease there. And I already stuck down that white strip glue, so there it is, or that glue. Again, wet glue, whatever you want to use. And I'm going to try to eyeball this so it's not crooked, hopefully. That looks pretty good right there. And just stick that down. And you have your little purse. Isn't that adorable? My goodness. So this also is going to be glued into the book. Real quickly, I'm going to cut out, like I said, that little, this guy. My goodness, I don't even remember how this stuff was on here. How was it? This way, something, something was here. This thing was like, this is so weird. Anyway, oh, you know, it's probably over that way and then this way or something. Nope, that's not possible. There we go. All right, and then I want to cut out this little key heart, like the little spot. And I'll cut it out on some black paper, just the same way I've been doing everything else. I have a little piece of black paper here from earlier. I'm going to cut that out real quick, and I'll be right back. So it fell right out. If I wanted to, you know, you can run it through and emboss it a little more, but what I'm going to do, since I've never used this stuff and I bought it, I'm going to use some of this Pebeo. I have King Gold here. Ooh. Oh, snap. I thought you had to actually open this. This is ready to go. I thought it may have like a seal. So you just need very little. Oh my goodness. It smells awesome. If you like the way Sharpies and things like that smell, you might like this. It smells actually kind of like lemongrass. Kind of weird. Anyway, tap that off because that's a lot. And then just go over this very gently. Again, if I had more embossing, if I'd run it through again, it'd be better instead of just this being kind of like gold. But so pretty. Am I even doing the right side? I am. That's so cute. This stuff is interesting. Alright, so you can put that on there as much or as little as you like. I'm trying to get it really on the edges. And then, that's literally all I needed was just like that little bit. What you can do is take like a, I don't have anything here, a towel, a paper towel, and just rub it over this thing, over the surface to shine it up, and it'll be shinier instead of just kind of just laying there. It just gives it another dimension, but how pretty is that? Let me clean this up and I'll be right back. It wants to stick here. I'm going to have to use a baby wipe when I'm done. Okay. So, again, we have our little purse. There are, I don't know if I should put that there or down here. Let me see this picture. There are other items that you can put on here that look more like a latch and all that kind of stuff. Like this kind of thing is in like the other set, the waterfall set, which I didn't use here. I'm going to do a waterfall off camera just so I can get it into the book so you guys can see it, but that is in there. But look how flat this, well, okay, that's another thing. if you don't want to make a gusseted purse, I guess you could just make a flat envelope and just, again, glue it down on the 3 sides and leave it open on the top. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have to make it a gusset like this. You can just leave it flat, you know, and then have your little flap on top. But I do have that, and I guess I'll stick it down right here just because that's kind of how it looks like they're doing. So I will, that's it, you guys. I mean, really, the other one, like I said, is more accents, so I have a feeling y'all are going to tell me that you would like to see a follow-up video, huh, with decorating it, which is fine. I used to do that back in the day. I would make the album and then do the decorations later. So I might fast forward and do a quick waterfall card for y'all just because I've already done it. I'll have the link there for you. But again, this one has just all kinds of cute, pretty stuff that you can decorate your different pages with. But hopefully that helped you guys out. Hopefully it was very clear. Thanks for watching. Again, you know, this main one has a couple little words you can cut out. Maybe I'll cut some of these guys out. I don't know. But it says family album. You can put it right on the front. Lots of different things. A little key. I mean, this is just adorable. There's a lot of cute stuff going on. Do you always want to make albums that are just that size and just have that going on? That's up to you, right? I don't know. But right now I'm trying to figure out where do I want to put this. Since we have our little pockets, I have cute things here. I don't want everything to be on the same side. I don't know why I'm talking about everything. There's literally only 2 things I made. But let me show you this right now that it's here. You can open it wider. Obviously, I just glued it, so I don't really want to mess with it too much. I'll get this glued down somewhere. Somewhere in here, we're just gonna stick it down, and then we'll have that little thing. It is pretty big for the area. You know what I'm saying? Oh, let me back up a little bit. Oop, that's not backing up. You know what I'm saying? The purse is huge. But, okay. And then, you know, decorate the front, add some ribbon, do whatever you like. This is just the basic construction I wanted to show you guys how to do. Or at least how I would think you would do it. But, you want to make your little tags to go in here. Obviously, just cut out a piece of paper that would fit in here. There probably are tags in there that might fit in here too. And then just put a little ribbon on the end so people can pull that out. So I will definitely decorate it for you. I already have a feeling that's going to be requested. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you at the next one. Bye now. Bye.